I want to approach this video like I am a lawyer and you watching this video are in the jury. I'm going to share what I believe is the single best way to build muscle fast if you are a natural. It is a specific training regimen that will give you clarity each time you step foot in the gym if your main goal is fast muscle growth. I'm going to provide every fact you will need to make a logical decision for yourself by the end of the video and decide if you want to train like this. And if you do, at the very end of the video, I'm going to share exact workouts that you can screenshot and copy so you can start making such fast muscle gains your friends will think you are a fake natty. So guys, do me a favor, like this video, tap that bell next to subscribe because this is only episode 3 of 15 of 15 days until Swomus. What is going on, guys? Your shorter brother from another mother. You guys saw the title, a little bit controversial, because you might think what works for one person may not work for another person, but we're gonna break this down scientifically, and I wanna hear your comments down below after this video, but I tend to disagree because I do believe this is the single fastest way to train for muscle growth as a natural, but not if you're a beginner. In fact, this is only for people who have spent at least 2 to 3 years in the gym, you're a natural lifter, you're past the point of newbie gains, and you have a great foundation on all of the compound exercises. Now, you guys are you're going to the gym, you're lifting some shit up, you're putting it back down, you're hoping your chest gets bigger, your arms get bigger, your legs get bigger, and you probably never thought about it like this, but there's really 3 main ways our body builds muscle mass. We have number 1, mechanical tension. This is basically increasing our power output, increasing our strength, and there's a sweet spot, usually like just shy of your 1 rep max, in the 3 to I'd say 8 rep range, where we can increase both strength and hypertrophy. Now, number 2 is metabolic stress. And the best way to accomplish metabolic stress is constant time under tension. In fact, reversing just short of lockout to keep constant tension on the muscles for a longer period of time. So this is gonna be higher rep, constant time under tension. And then number 3, we have muscle damage, and the best way to incur muscle damage is focusing on the eccentric portion of the lift, actually lowering the weight, and adding lots of intensity factors and adjusting your volume. Now, those are the 3 main ways our body builds muscle mass, but all 3 of these are not created equal.
Oh no, hell no, oh no, hell no, man.
In fact, number 1, mechanical tension, is far more important. I would say twice as important as the other 2, because you have got to focus on getting stronger if you want to get bigger. In fact, if you want to get bigger shoulders, you definitely got to increase your overhead press strength and increase your delt strength. If you want to get a better chest, you've got to choose exercises like the compound chest movements like dumbbell bench press, barbell incline. That's a no-brainer. You guys know that, but every single workout, in fact, when you see at the very end, is going to have a specific strength focus. Every single workout in a very specific order is going to have a specific strength focus. The next thing we need to look at is how many specific growth periods does every single muscle in your body have throughout the year. You want to maximize the growth periods of every single muscle in your body. Now, how do we do that? We do that by increasing frequency. Remember my video from last month, how it showed that training a muscle group 2 to 3 times a week is much better than training a muscle group 1 time per week, even if volume is the exact same. So for example, it's better to say do 3 sets of chest on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday than it is to do 9 sets of chest on Monday. So this can get very tricky because keep in mind, I guarantee you, if you kept a training log, you're gonna find that you probably are not having a lot of frequency for every single muscle. You might be prioritizing chest, you might be prioritizing arms, but you might not be increasing frequency on every single muscle group. Now, this is so crucial too because there's a theory that states that basically every 48 hours, that growth period for the muscle is done. So you train a muscle and in 48 hours, all that repair and growth has been done, and guess what? It's time to train that muscle again if you want to maximize the growth periods throughout the year. So let's go back to the title of the video, the single fastest way to train for faster muscle gains as a natural. Now, you need to understand what your body is. Your body is basically a survival and an adaptation machine. So what I mean by that is your body doesn't necessarily want to build a ton of muscle mass because it's just inefficient. You carry on more mass, you just need more fuel for survival. It's not necessarily a good survival technique to be walking around with 240 pounds of muscle mass. So we need to trick our body to build more muscle mass. And if you look at a lot of the old school bodybuilders, like if you watch Arnold Schwarzenegger interviews, he sort of knew this intuitively, that he had to trick his body through always changing up his workout regimen, through different intensity factors, different ways to shock his body into growth. Now, I want you guys to remember this formula. Increased intensity plus increased frequency plus increased volume equals faster muscle gains. Now, there's only so much we can do when it comes to increasing our frequency, right? Basically, you don't want to be training, unless you're doing nuclear overload, that's a completely another topic and discussion. Throughout the year, typically you don't want to be training a muscle group more than 3 times per week. That's going to be about the max. So there's only so much you can do when it comes to frequency. With volume, well, volume, unless you have hours and hours each day to spend in the gym, there's really only so much you can do with volume. But with intensity, I think we can do the most with intensity, and that's why I love the balloon method style workouts, because there's so many ways to increase metabolic stress. One of the 3 main ways our body builds muscle through intensity factors. There's so many ways to increase muscle damage through intensity factors. There's so many ways to increase intensity by doing more leg days, which is going to increase anabolic hormone secretion. So let's go back to these 3 steps. The solution to step number 1 is we want to get stronger while hitting all 3 mechanisms of hypertrophy. Now, we want to have a focus each workout on either overhead strength, pulling strength, or pushing strength on the upper body. And we want to have a focus on either quad, hamstring, or calf strength on the lower body. Step number 2, the solution is we want to increase the frequency that we are training every single muscle group to maximize the growth periods per year. And the solution to step number 3 is the balloon method we're going to utilize to maximize both metabolic stress and muscle damage. And this is going to pair nicely with, of course, focusing on mechanical tension. So these are the 3 workouts that I want to share with you guys. I want you guys to screenshot these. You can read about what PO, AD, and T45 means at the very top. Workout number 1, with a focus of overhead strength while also working the quads. So as you can see, quads balloon method. We're doing progressive overload on barbell squat. We're doing an anabolic drop set on the leg press, and then T45 on leg extension. Overhead press, barbell overhead press. We're focusing on strength with progressive overload. Standing alternate dumbbell shoulder press, anabolic drop set, and rear delt row T45. Triceps, easy bar floor crushers for progressive overload. Dumbbell overhead triceps for anabolic drop set. Dumbbell tricep kickbacks. That is a huge focus on quad strength for the lower body and overhead strength. Workout number 2, horizontal push strength focus, and we're also going to be hitting our calves on the lower body. So as you can see, we're doing barbell incline bench press progressive overload, dumbbell bench press anabolic drop set, ending with a mid-cable fly. Now we're moving on to traps, doing some shrugs, different shrug variations with different protocols of intensity factors. Then we're moving on to calves balloon method and abs balloon method. So as you can see, we're going to hit every single muscle group in these 3 workouts. Workout number 3, upper body focus on pull strength while also emphasizing hamstrings and glutes. Back balloon method, barbell deadlift progressive overload, wide grip pull-ups progressive overload, underhand grip anabolic drop set. Hitting the hamstrings with balloon method, dumbbell stiff leg deadlift, prone leg curl. Hitting the biceps with balloon method with progressive overload and the other intensity factors. So these 3 workouts train every single muscle in your body with all 3 intensity factors. You are going to maximize how much muscle you break down with each of these workouts, and you're going to hit every single muscle group every 3 days. Now, how much you decide to rest between these workouts is totally up to your diet and your nutrition. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. We're only on episode number 3 of 15 days until Swomus, so tap that notification bell. We got videos coming every single day, and I would love to hear what you guys have to think about this in the comments below. This is a way of training that I truly believe in so much. I've been loving my workouts incorporating the style recently, so I want you guys to try it out as well. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments below, and I will see you guys next video.